go to the beginning. It's a creation story. Now, when you look at the creation story, you see a process. You see a very clear, way in which God goes through the process of creation. First of all, God creates a atmosphere. He creates an environment. Then He creates the beings that would thrive in that environment. So God created the heavens. Then God created the birds. God created the firmament. Then God created the lights that will be on the firmament. God created the waters. Then God created the fish. So let's move to the next slide. So there was always an atmosphere that God created first, and then God created the beings that would live in the environment that God created. So there was a form, then God filled it. Form filling. That was the the journey, the way in which God went through creation. So all got done. Form filling happened. Then on the sixth day, God created man. Okay. Now tell me, what is man's form, or what is man's environment? Like if you say the fish, the environment for the fish is water. You can't take the fish out of water. If you take the fish out of water, it's no more in its environment. What is man's environment? What is it that, where do you function? I mean, where are you now? What is your environment? What's your habitat? For the fish, the habitat is water. What is man was created right at the end, sixth day. What is man's habitat? Presence of God. Very good. Anybody else? What do you think is man's habitat? The earth. Oh, okay. Now you see, this is where the problem is. The minute I say the physical world is my environment, what do you think will happen? If you say the physical world is your environment, what will happen? How will you look at the physical world? How will you relate with the physical world, the material world? You will start depending. Exactly. The material world is my provider. Now do you see the difficulty we Christians are having? We're living in a material world. We look at the material world as our provider, and we also want God. Now we get into a difficult problem. We are now having one foot in the world and one foot with God. We want God also. And we want the world also, because the world is my provider. I need money. I need a job. I need career. I need to be well settled in life. I need all of those material things. So I need to look at the material world as my provider. Now, if you extend that opinion or that perspective, that the material world is your provider, if you take it a little bit further, what will happen? If you continue to say the material world is my provider and that's what I depend on, where will it take you? What will be the next logical step that it will take you to? Yes, independence from God, and then what else? You will worship. The world and the material things will become my God. You see where this is going? That is what the devil has got us into. The devil is telling us, you're saying God is the one whom you worship. That's not true. You're actually worshiping the material world. And if we be honest with ourselves, we look deep inside, we have all come to that stage where the material world has become our God. That's why Jesus said, you cannot have two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other. You cannot have God and mammon. You've got to get rid of it. You've got to make sure God is the one whom I worship, or He is my environment. Some of you said that in the beginning. Can you turn to Acts chapter 17 and verse 28?
For in Him we live and move and have our being, as also some of our own poets have said, for we are also His offspring.
In Him we live and move and have our being. God is our habitat. Okay, we live and move and have our being in God.